Hello everyone, Deadeye here, and guess what? They released the 2022 roadmap for Planetside 2, just like they said they would. So today I'm going to recap it for you. First, I do want to say thank you to the devs though, for releasing this roadmap. It's not something they've done really in a while anyways. This kind of stuff really helps the community feel engaged, and I think is kind of necessary for something that's massively multiplayer and online as such, and you expect people to commit a lot to it. It helps us to know where we're going. But anyways, okay, so I'm going to show the roadmap on screen, and then I'm going to go over the details from the points from the posts on the feed, and I'll add my thoughts along the way. It should be prefaced, of course, that this roadmap doesn't contain the complete scope of the updates that are to come during this year. For example, expect balance and bug fixes throughout the year, along with some attention given to OSHA. Alright, for the early 2022 period, January through April, here's what we got. OSHA and the water mechanics have already been released, so I'm just going to skip that here. I already have a number of videos on OSHA, and you can go check those out on this channel. More interesting for me in this section is probably the infantry arsenal update. In the post, they say they want to take a pass on weapon attachments with the goal of expanding the customizability of infantry weapons across the board. Expect new weapon attachments and improvements to less used weapons. Now, this is something I welcome a lot. The area of attachments has felt very stagnant for me for a very long time, and improvements to less used weapons will make them more used, so battles will get a little more different and interesting and dynamic. Can't wait. I hope with all my heart they find a way to allow for multiple attachments on one weapon. Alright, now look, if you look at any modern service rifle in the real world, they will have multiple attachments. You know, scopes and red dots and lasers and flashlights. Why can't we have this in the space nanite future? Okay? A grip plus a dark light, I feel, would assuage most of the stealth CQC bolting complaints that are out there. Right? That's just something I've thought about and going to include in my video on invisibility, but that's still in the works. Anyways. Directive weapons will be revisited. This is something I also welcome a lot. A number of Oryx weapons aren't that great. A lot of them are great, of course, but there are a number of them that aren't great. They say they will make them more fun and rewarding to use. Okay, rewarding to use is an interesting wording there. I hope that doesn't mean more effective, because that's complicated to add into the game, I think. More fun and rewarding, I guess we'll just have to see. Maybe by rewarding they just mean it'll be shinier and appear more on the screen like you're a cool Oryx person, right? I hope anyways. On top, they will add attachment customization, which is good, because some of those weapons, especially the ones that I mentioned that aren't great, are more, or a little more, I should say, than the standard weapon with attachments built in already. Maybe this is the way we get to multiple attachments. I don't know, I just really want that. Okay, so, anyways, new black market weapons is good. For me personally, I don't like most of the ones that currently exist. So, more options is always better in any respect. More like alternative weapons. I like this is a space for experimentation, so I kind of like the idea of them. I just don't like most of them. And there's going to be a directive to go with it, so hey, yay, more directive points, everyone, huh? Okay, and then Empire-specific mines and class-based grenades are just little things that will add some spice to the game, which honestly, a lot of what this roadmap feels like is spice. Add more spice to that Planetside 2 tasty dish we're making, right? Just a little sprinkle, a little Empire-specific mines. Also, speaking of Empire specific basilisks. Yay for more spice. So they'll still be all-rounder type weapons, just with the faction flavor, right? So expect something like heating mechanic and plasma, bullets, projectiles for the VS, maybe a slower and heavier firing version for the NC, and a version that just kind of spits out bullets for the TR. These will default on the main battle tanks, but be unlockable for the Sunday, the Ant, and the Harasser. Now, they didn't mention anything about the single-barrel version of the Basilisk that is available for the Flash. So, sad face. For me, anyways. I like that one. Okay, so finishing up, there's going to be UI, user interface modernization. This is just something I can really say is, hey, curious to see how this looks. Really, I've gotten so used to the, current UI, it's gonna be weird. They're gonna add a codex in the game, which is gonna be full of lore information, so yay. And, also the ability for NSO outfits to align with factions. So, something they mentioned before, finally happening. Alright, so now the middle 2022 period, that's May to August. Okay? Outfit Wars are back, and they're going to be on the Nexus map, which is a map they teased a long time ago and never went live. They're also adding 1v1 and some faction matches. I pretty much don't know anything about Outfit Wars, so I can't really say anything about this. But people want it? Here it is. Next we see during this period is when water mechanics are going to arrive to the other continents. Again, I don't really know what to expect from this since there's not much water anywhere else. But this goes along with enabling traditional weapons being able to be used underwater. So in the few little areas like in Esamir and Hassan that have water, I guess we'll be able to shoot each other under it. So yay! I think more interesting to me is the mention of mobility options. So that will help us in those waterlogged situations, I guess. I keep imagining it was like a little turbine you can hold and you just fly quickly, but that's just in my head. Anyways, what I'm probably most excited about in this whole roadmap, and what I bet you are most excited about too, is the addition of the first naval vehicle. Yes. It'll be common pool, and it'll come with all the bells and whistles you expect from an entirely new vehicle. I've been thinking about what this vehicle can be, and I come to like an idea of like maybe a PT boat pretty much first, right? But I don't know, we already kind of have the Harasser, and like what's the point of having like a vehicle that can spawn people? We have the Sunday for that, tanks, none of this matters. Then I was thinking about the ESFs and the other flying vehicles that are submarines, basically. And those poor vehicles and infantrymen at the bottom. And then I thought about what it needs to be. It needs to be a vehicle that can drop depth charges. That's what I want to do. I want to spawn one of these and go fishing with depth charges for those poor infantrymen or vehicles on the bottom surface. Or maybe perhaps even a mine layer. That just occurred to me. Yes. I can't wait. Unlocking this whole new area of combat is gonna be interesting. Can't wait. Okay, next. Item gifting is finally being added. You buy items with DBC and gift them to anyone on your friends list. Now, I know this is a long requested feature, but I've always worried about the potential for someone to gain access to your account either through hacking or phishing or something like that, and then basically transferring all your Daybreak cash out of it in the form of weapons into that hacker's desired account. This is of course something that's gonna be possible, and I really hope they're ready to deal with this. Okay? That's all I can really say, I guess. Right, so last is squads systems are getting a look at in terms of usability and functionality. On the face, that just seems helpful really for newer players and also possibly making small squads more useful in the grand scheme of things. That's all good. But I'm more interested in this is what they call garrison squads. Now, these are going to be like local action temporary squads, right? So think like you're playing solo or something, and you see someone backcapping. You can pop there. It's like, you know, a couple of people, enemies there, and a couple of you guys, and now you're in a squad, and you can maybe coordinate a little bit better. I like this idea a lot. In any event, hey, you know what? More XP for players for being in a squad, right? I believe they had something similar. They have a similar idea in Battlefield. So, hey, I like this. I like this a lot. Finally, for the end of 2022 period, that's September through December. All right, another area of the game that we'll get a look at is the war assets for outfits. So really, pretty much all the facets of the war asset system are getting polish and additions. So from altogether new assets and deployables to the merit, loyalty, and resource systems getting revisited. Basically, it's all getting a look at. Personally, I'm just going to say, hopefully they try to calm down the OS spam when they're looking at this. I really don't know what they'd add as new assets and deployables, but man, there's a lot of possibilities there, so hey, really can't wait. Along with the war assets, outfits will be able to form alliances with other outfits and pool resources. The interesting thing here is they want us to know which outfits are putting the most effort on a continent and possibly tie that into gameplay. I mean, that's nice. It's kind of pretty obvious which outfits are doing the most work on a continent at any given time, but okay. Tying it into gameplay could be interesting. But hey, anyways, more stuff for outfits is good. I've never really led an outfit, like a large one or anything like that, so I don't really know deep knowledge of how they would want this feature, but I'm assuming Daybreak knows. All right, another area of the game getting a look in is the role of the Bastion in the game's meta, which I think most people will appreciate that they're taking a pass at this. So along those lines, there'll be customization for the Bastions in the areas of functionality, weapons, and visuals. Yay, visuals, of course. I do like the idea of different functions for the Bastion combined with customization weapons. Perhaps they're thinking of splitting it up into like the typical roles of like an anti-air, anti-vehicle, or anti-infantry. I don't know. I'm curious. You know, you just spawn your Bastion and it'll be like, yo, this role maybe? I really don't know. Maybe they want to make maybe, you know, they should make a way to deploy land vehicles from it instead of air vehicles. I don't know. Why not, right? You know, I've never actually even been on a Bastion. It's been out for 2 years now. I just never happened, and I just haven't really thought about it. I even have one built in my solo outfit, but what's the point of spawning it by myself? That's no fun. Okay, so listed next is more Empire-specific main cannons for the main battle tank, but also, and maybe more interestingly, for the Lightning as well. Main battle tanks already have Empire-specific cannons, of course. They have ones that fit in, you know, each expected role. So I expect something similar for the Lightning, but maybe they're gonna, you know, go a little more out there with the ideas for these new cannons. At least maybe for the MBTs. Again, my little hope is that maybe they take a pass at the effectiveness of AP rounds against infantry while they're doing all this. I mean, I know it kind of makes sense because it's a skill thing, and like it makes sense as it's a big old armor penetrating round, but you already have an anti-infantry cannon, and people don't use it because the AP one is better. Anyways, all right, so that's it. Well, lastly, really, actually, they mentioned the 10th anniversary of Planetside is this year. They want to do it big, but they won't tell us anything, so we'll just have to wait for now. Whew! All right, that was a lot of words. Wrote all this down in a script. Don't usually do that. Anyways, I want to thank The devs for this roadmap. Again, I'm excited for what the rest of the year holds for Planetside. Oh, please, go ahead, add a comment below if you're excited for any of this, or you have anything you want to add, or anything you think about these changes. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. I do daily uploads on this channel, mostly LPs and first impressions, but I do Planetside content, well, where there is something to talk about in that scene. Anyways, alright, I guess. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope to see you all soon, and, well, bye-bye now.